Hello, guys, and welcome back. It's so good to have you here with me today. I'm going to do a very short and sweet episode because it's been a busy day, and I think that I know a lot of you love the shorter and sweeter episodes, like little nuggets that you can kind of listen to when you have a busy day. And so I'm just going to share a little hack with you when it comes to Instagram. Because I know some of you have a difficult relationship when with social media, and I think sometimes it's easy to feel like, oh my gosh, these platforms are intentionally sabotaging small businesses and we don't stand a chance to actually connect with our community and drive sales. And you can build a lot of resentment there, and I just want to say, if that's you, I get it. And Instagram and social media is just a tool, and it's a really incredible tool to drive connection and awareness if you know how to use it and if you don't allow it to use you. So, by that, I mean, if you're consuming content all the time, if you're consuming more than you're creating, you're going to want to look into that, because that is going to lead to you feeling resentful, stressed. It's going to fall into that comparison game of looking at what other people are doing, and it's not a fun place to be in. So, just ask yourself that question to start off with. Of, am I consuming more than I'm creating? Because that's something you want to change. I don't want anyone who's listening to this to consume more than you create. I can already tell you, if you're doing that, your business needs you to spend more of that time doing creating. Um, then when it comes to Instagram, again, it's just a tool for driving brand awareness, driving visibility, building connections, building relationships. And it's going to be good if you use it in good ways. It's going to feel like junk food if you don't use it in the right way. So if you're following accounts that make you feel like less worthy, if you're following accounts that just spurt a whole lot of junk at you all the time, if you're following accounts that don't uplift or inspire you, and you're consuming all this content on a daily basis, of course, social media is going to be toxic. But if you are intentional about who you're following on social media, if you're intentional about who you're connecting with, if you're intentional about how you're using it and you're not letting it use you, if you're the one creating content rather than just doing all the consuming, it actually is a beautiful place. And I have built incredible friendships and relationships through social media and through Instagram. And I'm even thinking of like our listeners who send me beautiful messages occasionally on Instagram, just saying how the podcast has impacted them, and just like the relationships that develop from that, the connections that develop. I just think it's such a beautiful place, and it has so much potential. And for anyone who doesn't feel that way, just take a look at like why it is for you, because it's just a tool. It's going to be good or bad based on how we choose to use it. So we have to take responsibility for how we feel about it, because it's probably the way that we're utilizing it. So when it comes to posting, I mean, I'm not going to dive into posting because that's just a whole deep dive on itself. And I just want to give you a quick and easy hack to give you a quick win if you're having a rough week, if you're feeling frustrated with social media. This is just a quick and easy win that you can go and implement right away, or just in a couple of hours, essentially. And that is how to increase your story views on Instagram. So I know a lot of people feel frustrated that they post these stories and their followers aren't seeing it, and nobody's really like, you're putting the time and energy to put posts out there and put content out there, and then they blame the algorithm. And yeah, the algorithm is there to show people what they want to see. So they may just not want to see your content. But we have there's a whole strategy in terms of driving content that's going to drive visibility and attraction and connection. But I just want to talk about Instagram stories. So the first thing you want to do is let your stories completely run out. Like, let them expire. Don't delete them. Let them expire. They expire within 24 hours. So let them completely expire. And then what you want to do is you want to do 3 story posts straight after one another with some form of engagement. So it can be a poll, it can be a vote, it can be one of those like slider stickers where people are voting. And you want 3 posts, one after the other, that are easy for people to engage with, that are interesting, that are things that they just can't help but click and vote on, um, to increase the likelihood of the rest of your content being seen after that. And then straight after that, you're going to post um, a little like something that is going to be related to what you were talking about that day on your post or your content, whatever that was, essentially something to drive connection. Drive connection with a piece, a jewelry piece, a launch, an event, whatever it is. Tell the story, drive the connection, and then give a clear CTA to shop or purchase or DM you or whatever it is. Make it easy for them. And that will get a way higher views than normal if you do this correctly. Now, when we're doing those first 3 polls, if you just do um, like, yay, it's Friday, who's happy? Me, not me, da da. I mean, fine, maybe some people will vote, but it's not very interesting. Like, that sort of poll you can totally do, but what I'm talking about is polls that people really feel connected to. And for every brand, this is going to be different. So, for example, I have a lot of clients who are mothers, and some of their brands specifically talk a lot about motherhood because a lot of their clients or customers are mothers. And so we weave that into their strategy, and it allows them to show up in a very organic and authentic way to them as well. Because the reality is, they're mothers, they have their little ones around them all the time, they have a lot going on. And so if they try hide that element of themselves on social media, they don't feel like they're showing up that authentically. Whereas when we accept that and embrace that and weave that into their strategy and into how they show up online and into how they connect with their customers, it actually drives deeper connection. It makes it easier for them to show up. And it makes more people feel deeply seen in what they're going through. And that's what we want to do through our content. And so if mother was to post like, you know, here's a snapshot of my kitchen after getting my kids' schools ready for lunch. Like, I don't know why it always looks like such a hot mess. Like, tell me I'm not the only one. And then you have a poll which is like, oh my gosh, I'm there with you. I don't know how it's such a mess every day. And the next one is like, nope, not me. We keep our kitchen spotless. And then you can have another, like, you can have a whole lot of different options. Can you see how if you have a community of mothers going through the same thing, they're just gonna feel more like, oh my gosh, I am there with you. Or you know what? I feel the same, like it's overwhelming. Like, when does it stop? It's much more engaging for them to actually to vote and connect. And then we're building that relationship with them. And we're not selling jewelry in that. And we don't need to sell in every single piece of content. That's where people go wrong. What we need is to drive the know, like, trust factor first. And then we can nurture and sell to people, because there's so many jewelry brands out there. I think anyone listening to this knows there's some people think it's a saturated industry. It's really not, because a lot of people aren't doing what's required. So it doesn't take too much to stand out. Um, but there's a lot of similar, for example, like minimalist 14 karat gold filled jewelry. There's a ton of that out there. Very similar designs. How do you stand out? Well, you stand out by making a certain niche population feel incredibly seen and connected to you. And so for like a mother, they're able to do that in that way. And then the next poll would be something along the lines of like, okay, I just ordered this new carpet from Amazon for like the lounge, but now I'm not too sure if I love it. I'm just going to put it out here. Like, what do you guys think? Like, should I keep it? Should I return it for a green one? Like, I'm kind of torn. And you have very clear options. People are going to feel like they need a vote in that. Like, people love giving their opinion on stuff like that. And so you want 3 clear, simple, easy stories with some kind of engagement sticker to get people engaging. And then when you post the body content straight after that, promoting whatever it is you're promoting and the hook, way more people are going to see it and then have that chance to engage with it and make that purchase. So I'm going to keep this short and sweet because I actually want you to go and do that now. But if you need to wait for your stories to expire, wait for them to expire and then go ahead and do that. And let me know how it goes. Like, I would love to hear from you. You can tag me on Instagram at Robin Clark Coaching. And yeah, let me know how it goes. And just keep in mind, this is something that you can do often. Like if you look at my stories, I do it a lot. And there's a reason. I mean, everything I do on social media is intentional. There is nothing I do just for funsies. It's very intentional. It's very strategic. It's because we know what works. We know what people need to see. We know, well, I know how to frame things, and I know how to make people feel seen. And that's what essentially you need to do in marketing. Marketing is just a conversation with potential customers who are just like you, who want to buy from you, they want to connect with you, and they're looking for you to give them a reason to do that. And that's your job on social media. And it's actually it doesn't need to feel like a job if you get clear on what that looks like for you. But look at me, I'm already going off topic here. So go do your stories, let me know how it goes, and yeah, just enjoy that little hack, and you will get better and better at it the more you practice it. So if maybe the first time it doesn't work as well, just know that you also have to give yourself a chance to get better at doing those hooks. And maybe your lighting's not great, maybe the way you frame things isn't great, maybe the way you hook people in isn't great, and there's so many little ways to optimize. But this is just a quick and easy little hack for you. So let me know how it goes, and I'll chat to you guys soon.